Now at 6, implosion in Illinois. We'll share how the Badgers lost in a major upset to the Fighting Illini. And some horses are getting a second chance today thanks to some patient trainers. We'll share that story.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Amanda Quintana. We want to start with news just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. A green alert has been issued for a missing Sun Prairie veteran who told his family this morning he was going to kill himself. 39-year-old Sean David Jacobs of Sun Prairie was last seen around 11:30 this morning near the town of Freedom at the home of his children. He could be driving a white Ford F-150 and could be in Madison or in the Lake, Wisconsin area. Anyone with information on his whereabouts should call 911 and not approach him. It was a nail-biter to the end, but Wisconsin came up short today against Illinois. Our Jay Wilson is there with a recap.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. The Badgers 31-point favorites here in Champaign, but the Illini win it 24-23. The Badgers came up empty in the red zone. They had some key turnovers, missed field goals, and a general malaise all day long. On the positive side, Jonathan Taylor became only the 4th rusher in NCAA history to go over the 5,000-yard mark. 132 yards rushing, a touchdown, but a critical fumble as well. Late in the game, Jack Cohn threw an interception to Illinois' Tony Adams with 2:32 left to set up the game-winning play. Illinois' James McCourt made a 39-yard field goal as time expired, and the Illini shocked the Badgers 24-23. Later in sports, we'll hear from some very disappointed Badgers as they look ahead to what is a different-looking game at Ohio State next week. For now, at Memorial Stadium in Champaign, Jay Wilson, News 3 Now Sports.
News 3 Now's Melissa Kim will have more coming up in about 20 minutes. Now let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dave Caulfield out on the weather patio. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Amanda. We were dry across much of south central Wisconsin for most of this Saturday, but that has changed over the last hour or so with some light rain showers moving through. High resolution Doppler is just showing just how light these showers are. Just a few raindrops moving through Dane County right now into portions of Columbia County. Madison, we're seeing a few raindrops on the WISC-TV Skycam. Temperatures have fallen pretty dramatically into the low 50s in Madison, still in the low 60s in Janesville, 51 in Viroqua, and 54 in Boscobel. So that's quite a bit cooler compared to this time yesterday, especially across southwestern Wisconsin. I think those showers will be around for the next hour or two, and then we'll really see that activity wrap up during the mid-evening hours. We'll see partly cloudy skies overnight, maybe some areas of fog, but then by the afternoon tomorrow, the nice weather returns, highs in the low 60s. We'll talk about a more substantial rain system possibly on the way for Monday in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. Police in Madison are searching for a man who robbed a bank this morning. Officers say the man in these pictures robbed the Monona Bank in the 1900 block of Atwood Avenue. He entered the bank shortly after it opened and reportedly handed the teller a note instructing him to turn over all the money. He got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. If you have information related to this incident, you're asked to call Madison Area Crime Stoppers. A 49-year-old Beaver Dam man has pleaded no contest to a felony count of child enticement. According to Madison.com, Gregory Jensch agreed to meet a teenage girl for sex during a sting operation last spring. He has been placed on 4 years of probation and must pay court costs and register as a sex offender. He's also facing charges in Dodge County for an incident in August where he allegedly assaulted his wife while he was drunk. An update in news around the state. Prosecutors say the man charged with killing a person and wounding 2 others at a cemetery in Wausau left booby traps in his apartment with bombs for the police to find. 64-year-old Henry West of Schofield was in court yesterday where a cash bond was set for $10 million. Earlier this month, police say he opened fire at Pine Grove Cemetery in Wausau, killing 53-year-old Patty Grimm. Vice President Mike Pence will make 2 stops in Wisconsin this week as part of a rescheduled trip to the state. Pence will make a stop at a shipbuilding company in Marinette on Wednesday and then head to a shipping company in Pleasant Prairie, south of Kenosha. The vice president is trying to gain support for passing President Trump's trade agreement with Mexico and Canada. Pence was originally scheduled to visit the state last week, but instead went to Turkey to broker a ceasefire in northern Syria. New at 6 tonight, horse and trainer teams are competing at the second annual Midwest Rescue Horse Trainers Challenge. Gabriella Becerra joins us to share how this show is changing the lives of its competitors. Gabby?
There are 14 rescue horse and trainer teams competing in this year's show. They just started getting trained just about 90 days ago when they had little to no training at all. But as Glory and her trainer Emily proved today, they're ready for the grand prize. Side by side.
Next to our arena, we have a 14-year-old paint mare named Glory.
And with the help of trainer Emily Lundquist, Glory is ready to show off her new skills.
We've done a little bit of everything, some groundwork, definitely some riding, trail riding.
And the prize, a new home.
Magnificent trainers showing how fantastic rescue horses can be and what amazing horses there are available for adoption.
When Glory was rescued,
Glory was part of a rescue of a herd of 13 horses. We call them the Lucky 13. Right, Glory? You're pretty lucky.
she had no training at all.
This girl is very, very talented, and nobody would have ever known that before, her just sitting out in a field and not doing anything.
Lindquist worked to give Glory a solid set of skills.
It's a lot of work, and definitely the dedication of working with them every single day. They're all different, so sometimes they pick up on something a little faster or slower than others, so being able to take that time and give them what they need is super important.
Which Karen Byrell says is essential for finding a home.
It is kind of like the final puzzle piece for a horse in looking for a good home, is to get that training on them.
And the value of adoption is more than one would think.
You're not only saving one life, you're saving two, because you're adopting one horse, and then that rescue can bring in another horse to take that one's place.
Even though Lundquist will pass on the reins,
I'm sure I'll be crying later.
she gets a prize too.
Just seeing the end result, you start with something that's a completely fresh slate, and seeing your end result of giving these horses a second chance of life.
6 of the horses were adopted during the competition today. Gloria was not adopted, but for more information about adopting rescue horses, you can visit channel3000.com.
All right, thank you so much, Gabby. One Marine combat veteran is going home with a quilt of valor after his friends and family surprised him with it today. What Justin Newmeyer thought would be a small dinner before going back for a normal day on his farm turned into a surprise party. After serving in the military and fighting in the Battle of Ramadi, Newmeyer's girlfriend, Allie, nominated him for a quilt of valor last year. The purpose of the quilt is to comfort and heal veterans from the trauma of war.
Even just getting up in the mornings is a struggle for some guys, and I found myself there too after the war, many times. And just having someone to say that they care sometimes is just enough to get you going.
Newmeyer says the memories of war can stay with a person each day, and having recognition of the battles you fought is more than what he can put into words. Walking to destigmatize addiction. That's what the goal of an event in Portage was today.
Stigma just prevents people from accomplishing anything, really. I mean, stigma is the reason why people don't seek out treatment. It's the reason why we kind of put people in boxes and we don't give them, adequate support.
The walk supports Satori House, a sober living home for men that provides resources, guidance, and support. The event is a partnership between Satori House and Just Listen, which provides recovery coaches and prayer specialists for those recovering from opioid overdoses in the hospital.
We've been very successful in doing so. We've helped people change a lot of their life, new goals, new ways of living, and we've had great success in doing so.
This is the first year for this walk, which also included an addiction resource recovery fair and training on how to administer Narcan to someone experiencing an overdose. Stay with us. There's more to come at 6. Presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard is in the spotlight, but it may not be the type of attention she wants. Hear what she had to say about Hillary Clinton. Tulsi Gabbard is far from being a front-runner in the bid to win the Democratic Party's nomination for president, but the Hawaii Congresswoman is taking the spotlight in a controversy with the 2016 nominee Hillary Clinton. In an interview with CBSN, Gabbard has the latest word in the skirmish. Kenneth Craig has the story.
Democratic presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard hit back at Hillary Clinton in a war of words over the 2020 election. In an interview on CBSN, Gabbard says Clinton is smearing and undermining her presidential run.
If anyone stands up and speaks out to end the regime change war policies our country has had for so long, we will be labeled as foreign agents. We will be labeled as traitors to our country.
The controversy erupted after Clinton said in a podcast interview they're grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. Clinton did not mention Gabbard by name. She apparently was referring to the fact that Gabbard gets a lot of attention from Kremlin-linked media, just as Green Party candidate Jill Stein did in 2016. But late Friday, Clinton aide Nick Merrill tweeted Clinton's initial grooming claim had referred to Republicans, not Russia. Gabbard lashed out at Clinton on Twitter, saying you, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption, and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long. Clinton blames Russian election interference for her 2016 loss to President Trump.
This is not about Russia. Hillary Clinton is labeling me as a foreign agent and a traitor.
When asked if she would ever consider running as a third-party candidate, Gabbard said she would not. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Gabbard at 1% in the polls is widely considered all but out of the running for the Democratic nomination. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, a new way to shop for your family while supporting those who have lost a piece of theirs.
And the showers will wrap up this evening, but I have news on another round of potentially some showers and thunderstorms coming on Monday in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes. Madison.
There's a new place to go for those who love thrift shopping. Grace held a grand opening celebration today for its new thrift shop on Stoughton Road. All proceeds from the shop go towards the organization's grief fund that supports those dealing with the death of a loved one. Organizers say support from the community goes a long way toward their goal.
We want everyone to receive grief support, whether or not they can pay. And so all of the proceeds from this store in particular are going to fund that program.
The new store is open Wednesday through Saturday. For more information, you can go to their website, agrace.org/thrift store. Let's get a look at your first alert weather. Looking forward to a pretty nice Sunday after the rain we're having right now.
Yeah, a couple of raindrops still out there, Amanda, but Sunday, especially Sunday afternoon, I think is going to be very, very nice. Pleasant weather on the way tomorrow. We've had some rain today, and we've also